Hey guys, what's up? So almost 8 years ago, I was working at this dead-end job. I had a boss that just didn't care about me. He was just rude, indifferent. Everything I did wasn't good enough. The kind of same old terrible boss story. And I remember my wife and I were about to have our second kid, and I asked him like, hey, can I apply for a management position at this print shop that I was working at? I mean, I'm doing the graphic design, I'm doing the production, I'm doing sales, I'm doing customer service, I'm doing installation, kind of doing everything and running the operation already. And well, I've got a second kid on the way and I could just, use a little extra income. And he said to me, no, you're not for management. That's not for you. Just go, sit back down and design some business cards and get back to your job, basically. My wife and I go to the hospital to have our second child. And she actually had a post-delivery infection, and it was pretty scary, when you're a young guy and just a young couple and your wife is sick and, you've got another kid at home already and you just don't know what's going on. And I remember calling my boss and telling him like, hey, my wife's sick, she's in pretty bad shape, and clearly I'm upset, I'm worried. And he just said, okay, so are you gonna be back to work on Friday or on Monday, or, what's going on here? So, clearly that's just somebody that just, didn't have my best interest at heart. And my wife and I take our daughter home and everything's fine. She's great now. And I remember I went back to work and I'd been working like 7 nights a week already, freelancing, building up my client base and stuff. And I just realized that I couldn't keep working at this place, for the rest of my life with no benefits, no direction, no possibilities of raise, even though I'd been there for 3 years and grown his business and built this amazing product. And so I put in my 2 weeks notice. I remember it was a Friday, it was a nice warm day, sunny. Went outside, called my wife who's home with our newborn, and said, hey, I think I just quit my job. And so 2 weeks later, I walked out of that place. Our daughter is a month old at this point, and I started my journey. And my daughter and my business are about to be 8 years old. Everything's going great. But I knew what I had was just this drive to help small businesses. Working in production shops, so in print shops and sign shops, I would see a lot of small businesses come in and just talk about, hey, do you have branding for your business? Do you have your logo design? And all these things. And often they'd say, we couldn't afford a firm, or we couldn't, afford a big time designer. So no, we don't have any of that stuff. And most of you guys know, like, a lot of small businesses fail. About 50% of them fail in that first year or two. And I just thought, well, if these guys had more access to better design and better branding, then the likelihood of them succeeding would, obviously increase. And so I started this company really just with small businesses in mind and being able to give them every opportunity to succeed by looking good. And I say this story because branding is not just your logo, and it's important to distinguish the two things. So branding is an emotional connection you have a product or service. The logo is meant to recall that emotional connection. So hopefully when you hear this story and then you see the Metro Nova creative logo some other time, you remember that I've been there, guys. I've done this. I've started the business out of nothing. I've script and saved and had kids and did all that stuff. I've gone through that journey with you, and I understand your plight and things that you're struggling with. And so hopefully, like again, the logo design and the visual aspects of the brand are there like little flags in your memory to recall the story you heard or the emotional connection you made with me, with this story, with your experience. And hopefully we've inspired you to love your brand at some point.